FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
We have several questions about Mike Huckabee's proposal to abolish the federal income tax and derive all federal income from sales taxes. Is that an idea that should be considered?
Well, we can tax consumption instead of income. The Congress has enormous power to tax. The Constitution, Article 1, Section 8, simply says, the Congress shall have the power to lay and collect taxes. I actually have a tax plan to reduce taxes on older Americans who tend to disproportionately pay taxes because they have more money, and to shift it on to the young. It might raise a few questions about enforcement and privacy, but we wouldn't have any trouble recruiting for the IRS anymore, and that is that Congress starts taxing sex. Nothing in the Constitution prevents it. Now, Mr. Huckabee's plan and something called the fair tax is a proposal for a national retail sales tax. If we adopted that tax, every tax administrator I've ever spoken to says this cannot work. What will happen, I believe, is that we'll become like Russia, and people who now furtively slip into buildings to buy drugs will furtively slip into buildings to buy jewelry and mink coats to avoid paying the tax. Instead of your neighbor coming home and saying, oh yeah, you know, we traded in the car, we got a new one every 3 years, people would be saying, yeah, you know, we got 1,000,000 miles on this baby and we're going to keep going with it. We just keep repairing it so we don't have to pay the national retail sales tax. It's not an enforceable tax unless we decide to give up cash, require all transactions to be electronic, done on a plastic card, and therefore the government has a total, complete record of every single thing you do with your money. Think about that in terms of your liberties. Now, we can have a consumption tax based on something else called a value-added tax. That's what the Europeans use. Each step of the process of either service or manufacture, the tax is imposed and it's passed along to the next party so that you have an interest in collecting the tax from the party after you so that you didn't pay it to the people before and lose out. That kind of a tax could work. The real downside to that is that it can be such a tremendous moneymaker that government spending could really rise.